Hi, third graders. I hope you're having a great day so far. Today we are going to read the second story of the week. We always have two stories, one longer main story of the week, and then a second story that we can read that kind of goes along with it. After this, we're going to compare and contrast these two stories and say how they're similar and how they're different from one another. So we already read Life on the Ice on Monday. And today we're going to read The Raven, an Inuit myth, and it is on page 190 and 191 of your Journeys textbook. You can go ahead and turn to that page if you want, or you can just follow along on the screen. But I want you to make sure that you actually are following along and that you are not just doing one of these. Okay, because that's not following along. All right, so this is a reader's theater. So actually, this is a play. It is just like the story we read last week. That was a play, Two Bear Cubs. And so we have characters, we have the narrator, a person, old man, and the raven. Okay, a raven is a bird, in case you didn't know that. And this is a myth. It says, a myth such as this reader's theater is a story that tells what a group of people believes around the world. All right, so this is a myth. It is fictional, and we know that because number one, myths are always fictional, and number two, we have illustrations here, so we know that they are not real photographs. So Life on the Ice was a nonfiction book. This is a fictional story. So here we go. The narrator. I'm not going to say the characters' names. You can just follow along so that way you know what the characters' names are, because normally you would not follow, or you would not say the characters' names normally when you are reading. Long ago, the people lived in darkness. There was no sun to help things grow. People called to Raven for help. "Oh, Raven, help us. Our lives are a constant struggle." "I have heard of an old man who has 2 glowing globes of light. I will try to get these globes." Remember, they want the light because they live in darkness. Raven went gliding over the dark wilderness. He came to the shelter where the old man lived with his daughter. There, Raven turned himself into a human child. This looks like an illustration of him right here. "I have a grandson. How wonderful!" Raven spoke in the voice of a small child. "May I please play with your globes of light?" "Here, grandson, you can play with them." Question. Why do you think Raven turned himself into a human child? Well, remember, the people, they want the Raven to get the globes of light from his grandfather and or from an old man. So the Raven turns himself into the old man's grandson, and then he asks to play with these globes of light. So maybe he might steal them. Let's see, we're at the narrator right here. Raven thought of a trick to steal the globes. He pretended he was overheated inside the warm shelter. I see a lot of vocabulary words here. "It's so hot inside. I want to take the globes outside." "Yes, grandson, you can play outside with the globes." Once Raven was outside, he put on his layer of feathers and flew off with the globes. When he got back to the colony of people, Raven threw the globes up into the sky. One became the sun and the other became the moon. The people were overjoyed. "Now the climate will be good for growing food in this region of the world. Thank you, Raven, for the gift of sun and for the unexpected gift of the moon." All right, so that was a very short myth there. That was a short story. But what you're going to do is actually compare Life on the Ice, which was our nonfiction text this week, all about the North Pole and the South Poles. You're going to compare these texts to one another. Okay, remember this was Life on the Ice. You're going to compare this text with the Raven myth that we just read. Okay, so you're going to have to use your textbook to help you. I want you to think of 2 ways they're the same and 2 ways they are different. All right, so that is on Seesaw for you. Please, please, please write in complete sentences. A complete sentence has a capital letter at the beginning and a punctuation mark at the end. So most of the time, that's a period at the end of a sentence, okay? So I wish you luck, and I hope you enjoyed this short story of the raven. Bye.